LoreWarrior Online, DRG-5K Grand Dragon. Overview. A fully upgraded replacement for the venerable Dragon series using newly rediscovered Star League technology, the Grand Dragon entered initial production in 3040. Over the next 15 years, Luthien Armorworks replaced all of their Dragon assembly lines with the Grand Dragon series, using the DRG-5N as a bridging design between the two. Produced at several LAW facilities including Luthien, Dieren, Safel, and Yuri, Grand Dragon manufacturing almost ceased between 3068 and 3070 due to the Wurderblake's devastating attacks at the industrial heart of the Dieren district, as well as the complete destruction of LAW's Luthien complexes. Thanks to quick-thinking executives of the Combine's foremost arms manufacturer, the short age appears to be short-lived. LAW sold off several current design specifications, mainly joint projects with other manufacturers such as the co-built Blackjack Omni, for a short-term influx of capital. Approaching several clan-ravaged worlds in the Pesht district, LAW then invested that capital in building several small factories. Within 2 years, at least 3 facilities were up and running: the modified plant on Abi Adi, a rebuilt facility on Sainsville, and an entirely new facility on Nikvarn. Thanks to an innovative engineering team, the Nikvarn plant was awarded the initial Grand Dragon production. The team there had analysed the older Alshane Type 5660H chassis of the mech and discovered a process that would enhance the hip and torso structure. They presented their findings to the LAW R&D team, showing how an alternate assembly method could fuse the two sections together faster and provide a greater torque threshold, giving the Grand Dragon nearly 300 degrees of rotation, as opposed to the previous 250 degrees. Impressed with their initiative, LAW immediately granted Nikvarn facility the Grand Dragon production license and their blessing to incorporate their findings into the new chassis. Capabilities. The Grand Dragon was embraced wholeheartedly by the DCMS and became a common design in many of the Kuritan line units. The effective mix of heat efficiency, moderate speed, longer range weapons, and little ammo reliance has made the Grand Dragon extremely versatile for many battlefield roles. Deployment. Though the Grand Dragon was out of production for near 2 years, it's still a favoured battle mech of the DCMS. The Nikvarn produced models have been shipping almost non-stop from the system, and nearly every DCMS line unit still operational has at least a company of Dragons or Grand Dragons in service. With parts still easy to come by, these units are guaranteed to remain a large part of the Combine's military arm for quite some time. Variants. Shortly after the development of C3 technology, LAW designed a slave variant after DCMS commanders demanded it. Pulling out one of the rear-mounted lasers and swapping it with a C3 slave system is an easy upgrade, and many of the DCMS's C3-equipped companies sport several of the DRG-C variant. Less common is the 7K platform, which mounts the more controversial MRM system. Though cheap, the constant system bugs and upgrades guarantee field problems for most mech warriors. The ones still in service are usually piloted by veteran mech warriors who have learned how to adapt to the system's quirks and use it to deadly effect. LAW recently deployed a C3 Master version of the Grand Dragon to mollify the more hidebound commanders who insisted on having Dragon and Grand Dragon pure companies in their units, by removing an additional laser, replacing the standard LRM rack with a more versatile MML5, and swapping out the Lord's Light ERPPC with an Echo-static snub-nose version. LAW engineers managed to squeeze a C3 Master into the torso. This newer company variant, the 9KC, also incorporates the Combine's new light ferrofibrous armor technology, allowing the mech to mount an additional 1.5 ton of protective plating. Notable mech warrior: Buso Senshi Emery Wilk. An original member of Sorensen Sabres, Emery Wilk piloted one of the original Grand Dragon designs, a conversion from the older DRG-1G Dragons, after his rifleman was destroyed by a traitor to the unit in 3034. Though repeatedly offered a newer version of the Grand Dragon after 3048, Wilk preferred to constantly update his own machine. Emery Wilk was essential in much of LAW's secret weapons testing through the 3050s until his untimely death in 3057 when an experimental Gauss system exploded. The massive feedback caused permanent brain damage, and he died in his sleep a month later. Emery Wilk was a close friend to Tai Daniel Sorensen, who named his second son after him in 3058.